What's up, y'all? It's me, Erica. What's going on? It's Monday. Happy Monday to everybody. Hope everybody had a good weekend. We down here to talk about the Real Housewives of Atlanta, the season finale, which was very lackluster, to say the least. Very not typical finale, realness at all. But before that, I wanted to know, were you guys a witness to what happened with Teddy Riley and Babyface? Child, that was a mess. That was such a mess. And it was all because Teddy Riley was doing too much. And we've been saying he's been doing too much. He's like typical one of those people who, you just want to do too much. You want to put on a show, and really what this is about is just chilling at home playing music, and then you just so happen to play the music that you produced or wrote. And he was just doing too much. He had a band, he had a keyboard, he had a backup dancer, he had a microphone. The microphone was creating a delay and an echo. Everybody was in the comments. He didn't seem to know what he was doing. The people around him did not seem to know what they were doing. I was like, can we get like a 12 or 13-year-old in there to show y'all how to connect? One, how to connect to IG Live. That's number one. And then two, how to make sure that you're not getting any feedback. Everybody was telling Teddy Riley, y'all are getting feedback, it's an echo. And then they tried to blame it on Babyface. Babyface was like, first of all, I'm just here with me in my studio with the hits that I have created, and I'm ready to go. I done got over Coronia for y'all, and y'all over here wasting my precious time. I could be resting, like literally, seriously be resting, and y'all up here playing games with me. And Teddy Riley is 10 years younger than Babyface, so he was paying homage to him as an older person. You're older than me and this and that, and it just proves less is more. Like, I'm older than you. I'm trying to tell you, all you need is your earbuds, your phone, and coming through some speakers or whatever. You got some speakers around you. I'm talking through my phone or iPad or whatever. You have your headphones, I have my headphones. We talking and playing music back and forth. They had almost 400,000. When I saw it was 400,000 people in there waiting for them. And Teddy Riley was just doing too much. Just the perfect example of somebody just doing too much and then ruining the fun or the objective of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, the point is to just sit at home and play CDs, okay? Teddy Riley was doing too much. So he was getting an attitude with the people, but you're doing too much. You have a band, my nigga. You got all this feedback, all these connectors is going to give all this feedback, all this delayed feedback. Just listen, just play the song, sit down. The way that T-Pain and Lil Jon, he was cool with his little lights and stuff. He was at his bar or whatever. He did cool. I didn't see the other ones. I'm really mad that I missed RZA and Premiere. But I could go, but y'all told me I can go back and watch all of them on that one channel. So anyways, let's talk about Real Housewives of Atlanta. They start off at the very beginning showing little clips of like Porsha and her mother, NeNe and Greg and the dog, Eva saying, hey, from the Sterlings or whatever. Then they show this very short clip of Kenya at some Sally's somewhere. I assume it was in Atlanta. It wasn't very many people there, and that's no shade. I was wondering why it was just like a clip of something. That small, like 20-second or 30-second clip that they showed, they got something from it in order to create a storyline for NeNe, in order for her to have something to talk about. So, because it's at the end of the season, she's going to need somebody to go toe-to-toe with at the reunion. They show Kenya at Sally's. Then they show Cynthia and Noel. And it was funny because Cynthia is talking to Noel about the wedding date. It's going to be on 10/10/20, which is a cute little idea for Perfect Vision 20, all this other stuff, 2020. It was funny because Noel was like, I got to take a meeting. I got to go. Cynthia was like, I got to go too, being the boss that I am. I got to go too. I got a meeting. I got things to do too. Cynthia is really funny. Kandi and Joyce. They show Kandi and Joyce. They start talking about Kandi and the surrogate and the baby shower and getting her mind right. And Joyce says that she has this story about a lunchbox that she wants to tell Kandi. She says that the lunchbox came from when she was a little girl. Somebody took some money from her. And she's never trusted people since then. She says that, you know, somebody took her money when she was a little girl and she's never trusted people since then. And people will take your money if you let them. And then she says, so I've always had this thing, you know, about lunchboxing, about trusting people. Kandi says, I know she's talking about Todd. Todd has proved his worthiness. Todd has proved that he can make money for this family. And she tells her, you need to put your stuff in a trust because you don't want any issues if anything ever happens to you, you don't want any issues. Kandi says her mother feels how she feels about Todd and that that's her husband. And, you know, she can feel the way she feels. It doesn't change how she feels about her husband. One thing that I really don't like about Kandi, and I find it part of like why I think she's so messy, is that she continues to go back and forth between her husband and her mom and tell them, like, I'm surprised she didn't tell Todd that her mother told her this lunchbox story and then basically said she didn't trust Todd. I think that's not something that you want to tell somebody's husband, but Kandi keeps going back and forth. A lot of people online were saying she likes that storyline. She likes, you know, Todd and her mom bickering back and forth. It makes for a good storyline. But Kandi is the one that is, you know, encouraging the storyline by going back, just keeping up with the mess. She loves the mess. I really feel like, she said, my mom feels how she feels, and but you tell him. Like, you going back and telling Todd everything is just really doesn't do anything for their relationship. It only creates a hostile environment every time she's around. And she's one of those old black ladies who feels like she is warranted a level of respect that she cannot actually extend herself, which is a lot of problems that we have with elders. They feel like, you know, they deserve respect, but they don't have to in turn respect you. And, you know, I can't get with that. I can't get with let the elder talk to you crazy, let the elder disrespect you, let the elder make something out of nothing, let them take it personal. None of that. I don't subscribe to none of that stuff. And Kandi is the one that's creating that environment and creating a space where her mother can say, I feel disrespected by your husband's actions. But you got to keep in mind, your daughter told him everything you say, so you got to understand that he's not going to be welcoming to you. He's not going to be warm and friendly to you because your daughter then told you everything that you said about him, told him. So he's not going to feel warm and welcome from you. It's going to be a hostile environment. And now you want to get an attitude and then say somebody's disrespecting you. No, bitch, you talk a lot of shit about me. And that's what he said. Your mother said some fucked up shit too. That's what he told her. And I'm glad he said it, because you don't get, like Eva said, you don't get a fundamental respect. The fundamental respect that a lot of these elders are talking about comes with a lack of reciprocity. There's no reciprocal behavior. And people this is 2020. This is not 1972. This is not 1982. Nigga, it's not even 1992 or 2002. We are not dealing with disrespectful elders. We just not. And if you get disrespectful, expect to be disrespected back. And that's where I come from, okay? That out of sight, out of mind is really just fucking with Kandi in terms of her connection to this baby shower. To see, based on the baby shower, how impersonal it was. It wasn't very personal. It was not family oriented. It was nothing. It was weird. The baby shower was weird as hell. Then they get to NeNe. NeNe is picking out clothes for the baby shower. Wendy Williams calls her. What, NeNe? Are you in hair and makeup or are you shopping? Girl, don't act like you know me. NeNe loves it. You know, ever since I heard Funky Dinero say that NeNe thrives on her associations, that's how she determines her value, is by her associations. And the fact that Wendy Williams has actually called twice and done these favors for NeNe, and then like Wendy Williams is delivering the mess. She tells NeNe that Kenya made these comments about her at this little Sally's event thing. Well, they show the clip. She take advice from NeNe.
Lots of drama between you and NeNe. You got a couple people that's jumping on her bandwagon. You got Eva.
Like, no, Eva's on my bandwagon. You know, NeNe has very few real friends, so she's absolutely a bully. I don't take any kind of advice from NeNe. Definitely not about wigs.
Who's on her team, like who's cool with her, and I think she mentioned Eva. The whole exchange between this person and Kenya looked very contrived. It looked very set up. I don't know why anyone would ask Kenya any questions about NeNe and her answer them at her own event. So it was very set up. It was very staged. It gave me very much Love and Hip Hop. It really did. It gave me staged. I was like, okay, I'm not quite sure what's going on here or why this is being staged like this, but that's what I got from it. And then it's so funny because NeNe comes around and says that, you know, that Kenya is always messing with her. Kenya's always messing with her. But NeNe gets into this thing where Wendy is telling her, you know, don't go down the rabbit hole with Kenya. You know, I like Kenya, but, you know, she's trying to keep stuff stirred up and this and that. Then NeNe goes on talking about how Brooklyn doesn't look like Kenya, how they can't find a marriage license, but then I think it's great that she had a baby, right? She's saying all of these things about Kenya, and then she turns around and was like, I mean, but I'm not gonna say nothing about it. I thought it was weird because it does lend to NeNe's idea that Kenya is always talking about her, which we see them both talking about each other, but I only see Kenya talk about NeNe when she's asked about NeNe, and I see NeNe and Marlo inject Kenya into conversations that weren't even about Kenya, or the question wasn't about Kenya. They both do it. I figure that NeNe was kind of, her perspective is a little bit different when it comes to how children and their parents look alike. You know, saying that Brooklyn doesn't look anything like Kenya. I think she has a different perspective since both of her sons look exactly like her. And I told y'all a few episodes back that they were going to say that Kenya wasn't married, right? Her marriage, she got married in St. Lucia. St. Lucia gives you your license. Her marriage is recognized in the States. You do not need to go down to your state courthouse and get a marriage license. That's why you can't find it, Lanithia, because there's no record of it in the United States, because the records are being held in the state or the country or the territory where she was married. So I figured that was going to be a talking point because of that. And I knew that was going to be a talking point because naturally they would have gone to look for it. Clearly they're looking for it. They're looking for Kenya's marriage certificate.
Kenya's marriage license has never ever been found by no one. She ain't J-Lo, she ain't Beyonce, and they found their marriage license, but they can't find hers. They're not legally married, so there's nothing to divorce. I heard that it was a handshake and an agreement that they get together and have a baby.
You have your girls and y'all looking for this lady's marriage license. Todd, he's in there planning. He's saying Todd plans the best events. I put like Toya. You know, that's his role. He is the homemaker. He should plan the best events. But I didn't think that this event was his best, to be honest. So Kandi calls him and she says, my mom is not coming because she does not like the way you treated her when you came up to the restaurant and didn't speak. And this is where this type of behavior for women of this generation, of that generation, elders like that, irritates me, because it's like, you don't even like this man, right? But you have to have an attitude and create this confusion around your daughters. I think it was very selfish. You create this confusion around your daughter's baby shower, right? Because the man that you don't like, you don't like this man. You don't like this man and he didn't speak to you. So you turn around and use that to tell Kandi, I'm not coming to your baby shower because your husband, who I don't like, he didn't speak to me. Todd says, well, I really wasn't in the mood. I had an attitude. I was hungry. They showed a clip. Todd didn't speak. It doesn't cost you nothing to say hello. Yes, it does. It does cost me something to say hello to a motherfucker that doesn't like me. It does cost a lot of money. So if you want me to speak to somebody that doesn't like me, you're gonna have to pay me, okay? I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that, and I'm with Todd. I'm sorry. I don't care. Tell your mama it's not even about her, first of all. And her mother created confusion out of something that did not need to happen. But Kandi, you are the catalyst to that. You start that shit. Your mother doesn't like your husband because she feels like he's gonna take your money. And you go back every single time you get a chance and you tell him. And so he's not feeling your mother. They're not feeling each other, right? And now your mother has an attitude because he won't come speak to her. You don't like him. You don't like him. You don't like him. So why are you pressed and feeling some kind of way because the person you don't like doesn't speak to you? What kind of shit is that? And then you flip it around so that your daughter can be mad because you know your daughter loves you more. Kandi loves Mama Joyce more than she loves Todd. So the fact that he's like, look, I wasn't in a good mood. I was hungry. I wasn't coming over there because I'm not, first of all, I got an attitude. So you would want me to stay away from your ignorant ass mama. You would want me to. Okay, y'all forget Todd is a Leo. So I think a lot of the time that we see Todd, I think a lot of the times he is practicing calm. I believe he's trying to speak in a way that he remains calm in the situation that he knows is being played up for these cameras and stuff like that. I have a feeling that he takes a lot of practice and to say, you know, listen, I'm not coming around your mom. I already got an attitude. I'm stressed out. I'm not doing that. At first, I was like, well, he could have went and spoken. Then I thought about it. I was like, no, fuck that bitch. You don't like me. I'm not speaking to you. And you don't have any place. You don't even have the right. Mama Joyce has no right to be mad at Todd for not speaking. At all. No right as an elder. No right as a woman. No right as a mother-in-law. No right. You don't have no right to be mad at somebody you don't like for not speaking to you. Get the fuck out of here. He tried to apologize. He said he called her. He's going to call her and try to apologize. They show him calling her. She didn't pick up the phone. They made it seem like it was sent to voicemail. Kenya picks with me for no reason, NeNe says. Y'all, please, can you put down in the comments an example of Kenya picking on NeNe for no reason, okay? Keyword, no reason, okay? Porsha and NeNe, they're up there visiting or whatever. They come to the door. PJ starts crying. She starts crying as soon as she looks at NeNe. Well, we all know what can be said about children and babies coming in contact with adults and how they respond and what to gain from that response, what knowledge you can gain, and how you can read from that response when a child starts screaming and hollering. Because we laugh and we think it's funny when it happens to Trump. When the kids looking at him crazy and they start crying and stuff like that. Them kids is no different from PJ. PJ can detect the fuck shit, okay? She detects the fuck shit and she cries and frowns to let you know, I'm detecting fuck shit around this motherfucker, right? So they start talking about Kenya immediately, because why would we want to talk about Greg trying to sleep with somebody that works for you, and why would we talk about Dennis being at the Waffle House at 4 a.m.? Let's talk about Kenya, because we saw an example of two women of the same cast sitting together and not mentioning any other women because they have more in common than the other women, which tends to bode well for a true friendship outside of the show. But we see that NeNe and Porsha are sitting there and their point or talking points is Kenya. Did you hear what happened in the blog? Yes, girl, I was going to show you because y'all don't have nothing else to talk about but your castmates. Okay? But because we've seen it demonstrated where two women can sit together and not talk about any castmate and talk about each other and talk about what they have going on in their life. NeNe and Porsha, on the other hand, they don't have those things going on, or they don't want to talk about them. They'd rather talk about Miss Kenya more. He says that, why wouldn't Wendy Williams call me? She has other stuff going on. Wendy Williams is the gossip columnist. She is the hot topics lady. She is the person who loves the mess. That's why she called you, NeNe. No, Wendy Williams doesn't have anything else better to do. Her life and her career revolves around rumors and talking shit and all that stuff. So yes, that's why she called you, so she could get some mess started. Right? Porsha is telling NeNe the story of what happened with Shamea as if NeNe wasn't sitting right there, which lets you know that this conversation, this exchange is only to create, give more to a storyline, because Kenya showed the text messages last night on Twitter. I said, I'm waiting for somebody to pull the receipts. Do you want me to get the receipts, baby girl? And it was a conversation that Shamea told her, I went to the doctor because I was leaking. And it supports Kenya's story that Shamea texted me when she thought her water broke. So where you tried to catch her in a lie, she proved well. Shamea never said anything. I tagged Shamea last night on Twitter like, girl, you gonna clean this up? Because your girlfriend is throwing you under the bus again. Under the bus again, Porsha's throwing you under the bus. Well, she came up to me and told me she ain't never told Kenya that. She ain't never called Kenya. Kenya didn't say she called her. Kenya said it was a text message. So then Kenya last night posted the text messages. You want me to read the text message? Because we can read the text message. Let me go to Kenya Moore's page. Okay, and Kenya, okay, the last tweet says, here's Kenya Moore. I supported Shamea and Porsha throughout their entire pregnancy, capital letters, off camera. I was pregnant and panicked when I got the text about her water. We were all great, in capital letters, friends to each other. The intimacy we shared was sacred and we all had beautiful babies. God is good. Hashtag RHOA, hashtag receipts. Okay, it says, Shamea, hey lady, do you ever feel hiccups? I don't. No, it's funny because everyone asks me that, but I just don't. And then she comes back. Shamea comes back and says, I woke up wet this morning and not just a little discharge. So I'm walking to the doc so they can tell me if I just piss myself or if my sack is leaking. Kenya responds, are you there now, with 4 question marks. Yes. She comes back, are you scared? Where is your husband? Do you need me to come? Where are you? They said it was pregnancy discharge. I'm fine. That's so sweet of you. Oh God. Okay. I guess she meant to say, oh good. I don't know what she meant to say. So the story goes, you texted me when you thought your water broke. I don't know where Porsha was. Now that part, I don't know how that could have, that part I'm going to have to say, Kenya, I don't know where Porsha was. That was shady. Based on this here, you injecting, I don't know where Porsha was irrelevant to the retelling of the story. Right? Maybe she didn't want to say, I didn't know where your husband was. I don't know. But when you retell the story, injecting that Porsha wasn't there for Shamea's wedding either. So my friend closest to me, here's Porsha. My friend closest to me, Porsha, your friend closest to you, you weren't even at her wedding. So what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Then PJ has on this shirt that says, Auntie NeNe is so cool. Porsha, you doing too much. I was looking at Porsha like, you just gonna wait to the end of the season to be a dumb bitch all the way around. You dumb in your friendships, because like Kandi said on Watch What Happens Live, can somebody please ask Porsha how hard it was without NeNe? We really want to know how hard it was. It was so hard without you. We want to know just how hard it was, Porsha. Best friend who's the closest to you but did not attend your wedding. So they go to the baby shower. Baby shower comes up. Cynthia and Eva come through. Eva is leaking. Her breasts are leaking on the red carpet or the pink carpet or whatever. Shamea's there. Cynthia tells everybody she's going to LA. She tells everybody that her wedding date is 10/10/20. Tanya came in with her purple, I don't know, was it velour or velvet or what, but that shit outfit was so pretty purple with her strong, shoulder pads. It was cute what Tanya had on. Eva and Cynthia go and grab something to eat, and Cynthia says, I hope there's no drama between Kenya and NeNe. Kandi and Todd are talking, and she's like, my mom's not coming. And he was like, so I tried to call her. I tried to apologize to her.
Hey, your mom just said some got up as well. What we gonna do now? You want to argue or you want to have a good time? Which one you? You tell me which one you want to do.
She said, you could have just came and said something. And he was like, she shouldn't take it personal. And then Kandi is like looking at him crazy. They're looking at each other crazy. And he was like, but your mom says some fucked up shit too. She just does. And he's stating facts. And like I said, this idea, Eva said you have to have a fundamental respect. Yes, the respect that's reciprocated. We're not doing no slave owner relationship with elders. We're not doing that. That shit is learned, where you can be disrespected, but you can't disrespect them. You don't want to disrespect elders, but they play this hierarchical role in our families to where they feel like they can say whatever they want. And I feel like Joyce didn't come, was very selfish, and she did it just so Kandi can be mad at Todd. Because my mom is not here for my baby shower, and it's because of you. It's really not because of you. It's because of you, Kandi. Because if you kept your mouth, none of this would be happening. But you run back and you tell everything. So I don't want to talk to your mom when I see her. Pay me to talk to her. You're not going to make me talk to somebody that don't like me. So I broke it down, and I just said that her not being there really is to make Kandi mad. And Kandi wanted to argue with Todd. And Todd was like, look, your mother's not here. She's not coming. So do you want to sit here and argue? Or do you want to have a good time? Well, you can't even say sorry. No, I don't feel like saying sorry. You and your mama are tyrants. I'm not about to say sorry. I don't feel like it right now. Maybe later, but I don't feel like. He knew he would lose his job if he didn't apologize in front of everybody on stage. Right? I don't think Mama Joyce deserves an apology. She doesn't. She don't deserve an apology. I like the name Banks. I thought Banks is cute. I thought it was very cute. Cynthia asked, where's Mama Joyce? Well, she's mad because Todd, this and that. And that's where Eva says that, she gets a fundamental respect. No, out of here. So then angelic, drama-free Tanya, whatever her name is, Tanya, she comes through and she says, did you see the thing, that stuff with Kenya? Drama free, right? Miss Tanya. I really felt bad when Porsha and Dennis showed up, and Shamia and Tanya were like pumping her up on the red carpet. And Tanya is that type of friend that will allow you to walk into a house of fire just to marry a nigga. She was calling Porsha Miss McKinley.
Porsha, working. Oh my gosh, Mr. McKinley, what are you working on? You're incredible. You're a boss. Oh my gosh, where's the bar?
Go ahead, Miss McKinley. And I know she was doing that to pump Porsha up, but that's not healthy. This man is not honoring your friend, and yet and still you are encouraging her to be in a relationship with him. You're not a good friend, Tanya. You're just not. All for the love and this and that. It was okay to keep a secret that he came to Canada and put the same ring on. Should have got another ring, but we know that at the base level, Porsha doesn't care. She just wants that white picket fence. That's all she wants. And she's going to accept any kind of treatment in order to make that a reality. I was like, come on, Miss McKinley. I was like, why does she yell that to her? You're not married. So poor Porsha and her delusional lenses when she looks at Dennis. She's like, Dennis, he's real competitive. I'm competitive too. But he'd be like, I'm going to go in there and do it, baby. No, he doesn't. He don't be like that. Stop lying. Stop making up the things that you would like for him to do and telling people. And let's talk about the things he actually does. Okay? Let's talk about those. They are all gathered around. And Marlo has a cell phone in her hand. Marlo has a cell phone in her hand, and she says, what is this? And Kenya she hands it to Eva. Kenya grabs the phone and says, let me tell you about Todd and Kandi's baby shower. It was very impersonal. It lacked the family vibe. It seemed like it was a networking event. I don't believe all those white people are that invested in your baby, your marriage. Those seem like business people. It seemed like a network event. It didn't seem like a baby shower. Just goes to the narrative that Todd is just spending up Kandi's money, because it was very impersonal. They didn't have enough games. It looked like a good party, like it could have been a good party, but there was people leaving at weird times that they were saying. She was like, people were leaving. Kandi thought her surrogate was leaving at one point and ran over there and asked her, well, where are you going? She was like nervous about that. And she was like, girl, I was just went and got something to eat. I'm pregnant, bitch. I just went and got something to eat. Relax. It was at RU Studios, which is this man who's affiliated with Tyler Perry. I think he's the president of Tyler Perry Studios. So I assume that him and Todd have some kind of agreement, because Todd has been wearing doing a lot of product placement within the show with this RU Brothers hat, and he had it at the lot and stuff like that. So I don't know if Todd is trying to do his little production networking thing. I don't know if that's what's happening, but that's what it seems like what's happening. So let's see. So Marlo says it's a Google alert. What is that alert? What does that say?
It's a Google alert. What does that say?
Yes, it says, Kenya Moore, NeNe's a bully with no friends. Let the shade throwing begin.
This probably is fake, right?
No, it's not fake, and you know it's not fake because they have video.
No, it's not fake, bitch. Don't play that game with me. And that's the problem that I have. Y'all bitches is so passive aggressive. And then it's like when Kenya meets you with confrontational energy, now all of a sudden she's trying to provoke everyone. Bitch, y'all was sitting in a circle wanting to discuss this article because you didn't have to bring it up, but you wanted to cause some problems. And because Kenya meets confrontation with no problem, now all of a sudden Kenya's trying to provoke everyone. And you saw how Porsha was real pumped up. She was trying to provoke you. She was trying to provoke you.
The moment was for you to provoke your ass and to hit her in the mouth. She was trying to provoke you.
Yes, she was.
No, she wasn't. She was not trying to provoke y'all. I mean, it's a matter of opinion. Y'all gonna say, because I believe that they were trying to provoke Kenya, because it wouldn't have been brought up unless you were trying to provoke a reaction. And you got a reaction, and then you want to flip it and say, oh, now she's provoking people. She's trying to provoke NeNe. You didn't have to bring it up. You saw the article. You know it's real. NeNe tried to spit on me. She's not backing down from the conversation. NeNe says, I didn't try to spit on you. If I wanted to spit on you, I would have spit on you. But I did not try to spit on you. You didn't, NeNe said, you done bullied plenty of peoples in this circle. Kenya said, peoples, why don't you go back to elementary school? Why don't you go back to elementary school? My thing is, NeNe, are you fighting everybody's battles? Because I'm confused. Because are you trying to antagonize Kenya because of what she did to everybody else? You talked about Kim Fields. You talked about Porsha. You talked about Phaedra. You talked about Tanya. You talked about all these people. So what is NeNe? Is NeNe like trying to defend all these people? Is she coming to defense of all these people? Because when we were talking in the earlier scene, Porsha stated that when NeNe asked, do you think that Kandi and Cynthia hold Kenya accountable? You've seen that. You've seen that happen in front of your face. So that was a silly question to ask. But Porsha's response was, she's a grown woman. So can these grown women defend themselves? Or are you, because every time NeNe gets in Kenya's face, it's not about what you did to me, it's what you did to other people. And that's the reason why I'm giving you the blues, is because of what you did to everybody else. So it seems to me that NeNe is fighting everybody's battles, because she never brings up what Kenya actually did to her, right? We're almost done. This ain't what you want. It's definitely not. So Kandi says she's sick of it. She comes through and she says, this all y'all is taking attention away. It should have been a more intimate baby shower like Eva's. Should not have been a networking event for Todd trying to get production deals at RU Brothers. Because that's what it looked like to me. I don't have intimate relationships with all these people enough for a baby shower. Now I can see if it was a bridal shower and a groom shower like that. It's just for a baby. And you're having a surrogate, so everything is just super duper awkward. It's just weird. Kenya gets up and walks over around to where Shamia is. Shamia is standing like at NeNe's knees, like she's standing, like NeNe is faced out and she's standing there. And Marlo goes, how do you try to spit on somebody? See, like Marlo, I think Marlo should stop with this thing, because what's going to happen when NeNe and Kenya decide, let's bury the hatchet? What are you going to do? You think you're going to be friends with her? And all you was doing was backing up NeNe, right? You keep backing NeNe up. Oh, you're mad because she came through your party with a drum line. I forgot. Sorry, you can be mad forever, girl, because I would be mad too. It was really weird. So Kenya walks over to where Shamia is, and I didn't see Kenya touch Oh, I think she touched her hand. Nobody touching you, girl. So they start arguing back and forth. Kandi is upset. They call security. But they were both out of line. Both of them. Both of them out of line. Marlo should not have brought it up at Kandi's event, but you don't respect Kandi. You don't like Kandi either. So you're not going to respect her event. You brought it up. Then you're going to say that she was trying to provoke. Where's the video? Hold on. I felt like she was just being confronting with what you guys were passively bringing to her. Trying to provoke her is what they're saying. That's I guess the buzzword or the keyword or the trigger to say Kenya was trying to provoke, right? Now, in those other situations with Porsha, yes, that will provoke somebody to react in that way. But what they did was get a reaction out of Kenya, and then in her reaction, they come back and say she was provoking. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. If you bring something to me, you're confronting me with something, and I'm in your face now, I'm in your face with the shit you were bringing to me. How am I provoking you? Because I'm a little bit more confrontational, because you brought it to me in a passive way. You didn't have enough pussy to bring it to me in the right way. So now because I'm confrontational, now I'm provoking you. You let me know where the logic in that is. Let me know if you're bringing something to me in a passive way and I respond, my reaction is confrontational energy, aggressive energy. You tell me, how is that provoking you to react to me in a violent way? What happened to what you did? Why do we remove what you did from the equation? Why are we only focusing on the reaction and not the cause of the reaction? That's not cool. So I figured that was a buzzword for them. Porsha was really pumped up. You saw her. You saw her. You saw her. It's funny. They had TMZ pulled up to discuss it. Kenya starts the conversation by pulling the phone like, bitch, okay, y'all being passive aggressive, so let me just call it what it is. Calls Marlo out for acting like she didn't know what was going on, fake. Then proceeds to stand in her shit and say, yes, I did say it, she is a bully. While being questioned by NeNe, Marlo, and Porsha. But she's at fault somehow. How was Kenya, you tell me in the comments, how was Kenya provoking NeNe? Okay? And then all I can say is from what I see, it seems like Porsha wants a problem with Kenya. I believe she does. I don't understand why Porsha wants a problem with Kenya. I don't get it. Y'all tell me what your theory is behind it, because I just don't understand it. I want to see how Kenya handles Porsha at the reunion. I would actually ignore NeNe's issues and I would focus on her. Like, bitch, we was cool while we was pregnant. All of a sudden we start filming, and now you was talking Cash Money shit about this lady in the group text, and now it was so hard to live without her. You fake. Porsha is fake. And I said to myself, I said, you know what? You know, I was really trying to give Porsha a chance this year. I usually don't fare well with dumb girls. I really don't. And I hope she isn't dumb. I hope she's smart enough to marry Dennis with a infidelity clause in the prenup, to where if he cheats on you, you get a lot of money back. I hope you're smart enough to do that. And then because you know he is going to continue to cheat because you've set the bar. You've set the bar in how you are allowing yourself to be treated. So he's going to continue to either surpass the bar by either getting somebody else pregnant and having a baby, or having a full-on relationship with somebody under your nose and you not even know it. So what you need to do is sign that prenup, dummy. Sign that prenup. Okay, and put an infidelity clause in there because he is going to cheat again. Smart girl. A smart girl will put that in there so when he does cheat, you get some money and some alimony. Okay? So that's what you better do. While you fussing with Kenya and NeNe and trying to be friends with them, you need to focus on that. Let's do that. All right? Kenya, we hope you get your shit together with Mark. You another dummy. If you get involved with Mark, you've already set the bar. He's already treated you like a fool in front of 2 million people. So if you get back with him, you a damn fool. NeNe says she's staying with Greg no matter how many of her employees he tries to fuck. You a damn fool. Kandi, you a fool because you went out and had another baby, didn't plan your relationship and your family planning the correct way. You don't have time to raise a kid. Riley came dressed to the glam party like she was going biking or hiking. So it was a mess. Kandi, you a damn fool. If you a fool for what you did, you a fool for going back telling your mom everything and expecting your husband to be warm and loving to her. It doesn't work like that. Who else? Cynthia, you okay? We're not gonna give you a damn fool stamp. But everybody else, Eva, you all right with me too. Tanya, you a damn fool. You a damn fool. Cause you really you playing with the wrong team. You smart and pretty, but you on the wrong team, girl. Anyways, y'all, take care of each other. Protect your energy. We'll get down in the comments. All right, peace.